If you've had family members with osteoporosis, I want you to reflect on this one question. Were they a man or a woman? And I'll tell you why that matters. Most of you probably have had grandmothers, mothers, aunts, and friends who have osteoporosis. And the majority of people with osteoporosis are women. The question is why? And today, not only will I answer that, but I'm actually going to reveal how to prevent it from happening to you. If we haven't met, my name is Joe Sidaway. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and I help older adults live their best years on their own terms. So let's dive right in. When we look at the physiology of osteoporosis, there are some key principles that we need to understand. First off, what is osteoporosis? What hormones are involved? And how do our hormones change as we age? So for starters, what is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis is where the amount of bone our body absorbs is not equal to the amount of bone our body produces. See, your body is constantly breaking down bone and using old tissue for the calcium and vitamin D and recycles those materials, and it's placing new bone. The condition we call osteoporosis is simply when we lose more bone than the amount that we are creating. For example, it's like it's in the holiday season and you want to spend all that money on the grandkids for presents, and well, there's a lot more money going out than there is money coming in, right? Okay, so now let's talk about hormones. And for women, you've got a whole lifetime of knowledge about this topic, but I want to focus on the key hormone for protecting bone. Can you guess what it is? To be honest, I actually didn't know until I started studying this, and estrogen is one of the key hormones for protecting bone from being broken down and absorbed into the body. See, I keep mentioning this absorption thing because it's not like the calcium and vitamin D just magically disappear. They get used somehow and some way the body sees fit. So think of estrogen like the lock on the pantry door, so the kids can't just go in and eat all of the snacks. But when women go through menopause, there's a drop in estrogen and the lock gets taken off. And for a while, the kiddos go in, devour everything in the pantry, and things just go crazy for a little while. So the cells in our body start to devour the nutrients that actually make your bones strong. And the body is smart, but it often needs input from us and our environment to make the right choices. And before we talk about what to do to stop this rampage from happening, I want to summarize what we just learned. So, osteoporosis is where the body reabsorbs bone faster than it creates it. Women have this drop in estrogen, a drastic drop, which makes you more susceptible to the body absorbing bone because estrogen is not protecting your bones anymore. And now we are going to answering the lingering question, which is, can we stop this from happening? And the answer is yes. And here is how. You can use a universal law, which is called Wolff's Law, and actually signal to the body that we don't want it to reabsorb all this bone. This law states that when force is applied to the bone will actually change itself to adapt to the force. So if I compress a bone a lot from the top to the bottom, boom, it becomes really good at withstanding the compression from the top of the bone to the bottom of the bone. Some of the ways this happens is when you lift weights, for example, and you get force pushing through your bones. And when you jump and land and get a good healthy shock wave throughout your body and through your bones, it signals to the body, hey, we need to make this stronger so it can withstand all this jumping and the heavy weights. So the body does its thing and you have stronger bones. Isn't that incredible? It is amazing to me. The body will actually become greedy and keep more calcium in the bones rather than letting it out, because you're showing it by lifting heavy weights and jumping that this is a priority. It's a mind-boggling, but it's a true principle and it applies to basically everybody. If you can understand this, you can solve osteoporosis. Now, I am putting a caveat in there. Just because we have this understanding of Wolff's Law, it is still possible for people to have some kind of genetic abnormality that is going to decrease the strength of their bones. And I'm not discounting that. I'm not here trying to say it's all your fault, and if you have osteoporosis, then you should have just been doing this all along and prevented it. What I am saying is now that you have this information, it is your opportunity to use these principles of weight training and jumping to be able to strengthen and reinforce your bones. Not only does it help with stopping your bone density from declining, but listen, if you're trying to stop fractures from happening, this is going to help you become more stable, improving your balance, and it's also going to improve your confidence with walking. And that's one of the key indicators for are you going to fall is, number one, are you afraid to fall? And the more you do weight training, the more you do jumping, right? Like, think about it. If you're able to jump with confidence, you are not going to be afraid of doing things like going up and down the stairs or getting on the floor to play with that cute grandbaby. Those are things that aren't even going to be a second thought. And that's the life you're looking for. That's the problem you're really trying to solve. It's not just osteoporosis, it's what's everything else that's being affected from osteoporosis. My objective is to help you learn how to do all of that safely and avoid injury, and to teach you the technique so that if you've never picked up a weight in your life, you can become comfortable with lifting weights on your own by yourself by the end, okay? That is my objective, to put weights in the hands of women to empower themselves to live the life they deserve to live, to recover the last 20 years that you thought you lost because of aging and because of osteoporosis. I hope that this was helpful. If there is something else that you really would like to learn about, put it in the comment section. And as always, thanks so much for watching.